Ooh. If I was made of a bear's fur, what would you say to that, Dan?
If you were made of a bear's fur.
Like a face, but bear's fur. Like you touched it, you're like, that's bear's fur.
I would be like, that's really cool. Let's be friends.
Would you taste it?
No. I would rub it a lot.
You'd rub it, so you'd rub me a lot.
I think you'd have a problem with people trying to skin you.
I think people would skin me, and I hope they would, because they'd be listening to episode 176 of the Dan and Kody podcast.
This is the Dan and Kody podcast.
This is it. Right here, Kody. You put on those headphones and you go to work.
Why are you yelling?
This is where our message is heard. It's time to get hype. Say it with me.
What are we saying?
Dan and Kody.
Dan and Kody.
Dan and Kody.
It's Dan and Kody podcast.
Dan and Kody podcast.
Dan and Kody podcast.
Get some.
Dan and Kody podcast.
Wow.
All right.
Wow, buddy.
176, me, you, couches, Coca-Colas. What a Monday.
Dude, it's a Monday. It feels good. It's the Monday after the holiday that is just, it just stays with us.
Yeah. Every day is a holiday.
Every day's a holiday. It's like Naughty by Nature says.
Every day is a holiday.
I want to jam, a boring. So that's that's our day. Things are happening right now, man. Things are really happening.
Kody, I eat bananas upside down, some would say.
Would you say it's upside down or would you say it's right side up, Dan?
I think it is the absolute correct way to eat a banana.
I think you're right because
I've made a switch.
If you eat from the bottom end where the stem is not, that's the proper way to eat a banana.
Yeah.
And that's the facts.
That's what I do.
And that's the right way. So good for you. You're doing a good thing.
It's harder to peel that stem down and peel that.
Yeah, I know.
You flip it over. The stem acts as like a handle.
Oh, like a strong handle.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And you can eat more banana that way.
I mean, I'm a fan of banana. I'm pro banana.
It's one of my favorite fruits.
I've
but
always
not in dessert. I don't want banana in any dessert. Fuck that. No banana splits. No banana strawberry milkshakes. No banana in a smoothie.
Right.
I want solid banana.
Solid banana.
Yeah, that's the only way I'll do a banana. Can't do it in a sundae. None of that.
Okay.
What about you?
I mean, I'll eat banana in any way I can. Now, the one thing I've never been a big fan of, although I appreciate the shape, are banana runts.
Banana runts?
Do you remember runts?
Yeah.
Come on, man. What happened to the runt game?
I remember. Are runts the same as nerds?
No, but they're similar
they
similar in texture because they're hard candies like a nerd is.
Ugh.
But they're bigger and then they're in the shapes of the fruits. So you get like a cherry and you go ahead and get a strawberry and then you get a banana. It's like a banana. You know what I'm saying?
Runts are what I call stupid candy. It's a waste.
What is that? Oh, you have like a saying, like stupid candy
Like
is
that
a
candy's
saying
dumb.
you use?
It's just a dumb candy.
That's insane. What are you
Sour
talking
Patch
about?
Kids, dumb. Runts, dumb. Nerds, dumb.
No.
Wrong. Those
Wrong.
like, what are those like peach like rings? Those like sugar rings.
Oh, those are good?
Dumb.
What do you mean dumb? What is your standard for being regular candy
It's stupid
and then
candy. It's stupid.
dumb candy? What does that mean?
It's stupid. Like it's
Dude,
not
this
worth
is-
it if you're gonna eat that.
What do you mean it's not worth it? I don't understand this.
Gummy bears, good. That's a good candy.
Why? Again, I'm asking you to
Mm-hmm.
give me your standard of what makes something a good candy versus something that makes something a
Like-
dumb candy or a stupid candy.
Like, can you eat it and like get full off it? You know? Like just pouring a box of nerds or runts in my face is not going to like appease me. You know what I mean? I won't feel fulfilled.
Candy's not a food group, man.
If I eat a Nutrageous, that'll fill me. That's great. It's tasty, it's delicious, it's chewy, and I get a sense of like I ate something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Airheads, stupid candy.
Right.
Those are dumb. Ring pops, dumb. Any kind of those liquid candies?
Yeah.
Like it's just juice in it or something? Like the kids, Like, it's dumb candy.
I don't know, man. I disagree.
Can't do any of that. Fun Dip, stupid.
So I guess I'm gonna have to.
Pixie Sticks,
Come on, man.
stupid candy.
Okay. You can get fulfilled off of Pixie Sticks because you're gonna get into a sugar coma.
Yeah, it's just sugar. There's no substance.
There's no substance to gummy bears, Dan.
You get a gummy bear. It's chewy.
Give me your
it's
top
fruity.
three. Give me your top 3 candies. Go.
Top 3 candies.
Go.
Boom. Nutrageous. Okay. Reese's peanut butter eggs.
Okay.
Easter. Third.
Yes, that's a holiday.
Third. This is tough. Fifth Avenue.
Dude, all you just told me were chocolate candies.
They're bars.
Yeah,
they're like a peanut butter
There's
candy.
nuts in them.
It's a chocolate peanut
That's
butter.
not like a true sugar candy.
It's a
Gummy bear is a true sugar candy. Like chocolate. No,
I prefer
man.
the bar variety. Favorite boxed movie theater candy? Goobers. Chocolate covered peanuts.
You like nuts.
Straight up.
You want something that's got protein in it, man. That's not like candy. Like you're talking. So dumb candy to you or kids candy?
No, dumb candy to me is like the powders.
Man,
Like
here,
they're stupid.
this
Fun
is-
Dip. What is Fun Dip?
this is gonna sound weird, okay? But if I can suck on it, that's candy I want in my mouth.
Love a Jolly Rancher. I like the sucking variety of candy
What?
too.
But
Jolly
you don't
Ranchers are
like
great.
runts, which are basically in the same field?
No, it's too messy. Too much.
What do you mean too messy?
It's
They're
just
dry.
those little like what are they? They're like little balls.
They're hard candies. What's the difference?
No. Say Pop Rocks, stupid.
This is you don't even live by your own standards. You don't even live by your own standards. I don't understand how you can be that kind of a person. But you know what? I'll give it to you. Speaking of like candies and your stance on candies,
Yes.
you realize that scientists are currently right now working on a means to see if we're actually in a mirrored universe.
Ooh, like the Upside Down?
Like the upside down world, to speak of things that are in popular culture. Yes. Like the upside down world,
Like,
man.
is there a this world but like flipped on its head?
Absolutely. So in Tennessee, there's a national lab, right? Mm-hmm. Physicists are trying to open a portal to a parallel world.
How is this even possible?
Well,
How
assuming
can
that
you attempt to open a portal?
they're working on it, but essentially
So
it
if
comes down to essentially what it comes down to is they're using it's like what you're seeing the large hadron collider or whatever it is. They're testing to see if they get a different reaction in it when they end up hitting. So basically, what these things do is they send particles
Okay.
at such a high rate of speed that when they hit, things happen, right? Like talking faster than the speed of light. And they use magnets to like drive particles, pieces of atoms, basically at each other, right?
So if they're trying to open a portal, then that means they've already found a portal.
When you think of a portal, you think of Stranger Things, and they're opening a portal to the Upside Down world. That's not necessarily that. All they're really trying to do is to detect and determine if there is a mirror universe.
You ever see the movie Envy?
Yes. With Jack Black?
Jack Black and Ben Stiller.
Yes.
Jack Black invents Vaporize,
Okay.
and you spray it on poop, and it disappears.
Yes.
And it's
correct.
like, where does the poo go?
Yes, I do. I recall this. Yeah.
It's like that. They're trying to find where the poo goes.
Absolutely. They're trying to find the proper polarity.
You know what? I'm against this shit.
Why?
Because the second they find out they can put stuff in an alternate universe,
Right?
they're going to start putting stuff in an alternate universe.
What do you mean?
And I'm not cool with that.
Like what stuff in an alternate universe? People?
It's going to start with good things. It's going to be like, oh, yeah, let's solve the fucking waste management problem.
Is that a good thing?
Let's start putting that into this alternate universe. And they'll just
Okay.
start throwing in trash, throwing in things we don't like, waste. All the toilet flushes are going to start going there. It's going to be great for a little bit. I mean, this is great. They're going to clean up the ocean floor. They're gonna like get all this shit out of there.
So
send all that to the alternate
scientists
universe.
are going to
It's gonna be
build.
awesome.
They're going to build this multiple universe, and you're telling me they're going to open up this portal, and they're just going to run pipes into it. They're going to dumping out garbage.
They're gonna start getting all the garbage of the earth, all the smog, all that stuff. It's all going to the alternate universe.
Yes.
And then they're gonna be like, let's start sending like dead people there. Then you're gonna bury people in the alternate new universe. Then it's gonna start becoming like, instead of like the death sentence, it's gonna be like alternate universe, Mr. Frederick. Dunk. That was a gavel dropping in court because you were on trial for murder. And then you go to the alternate universe. Then there's a war. Then there's a war, Kody. And then we send an entire country to an alternate universe. This is a slippery slope I do not want to go down, my friend.
We're just, the uncovering of the alternate universe may potentially lead us to some answers in dark matter and where it exists, we know it exists, but it's a matter of being able to measure it. So the idea is that they're going to send these neutrons at each other, and if they detect any kind of anomaly based off of how they're doing this, they'll, be able to prove their point, I guess. So to give you an idea, researchers found neutrons created in particle beams similar to the one Broussard, who's the scientist that's going to do this, will use, last 14 minutes and 48 seconds on average before decaying into protons.
What?
But neutrons stored in a laboratory bottle seem to break down a bit faster in 14 minutes and 38 seconds. So that's based off of like this 10 seconds is they're wondering what's causing this. So it's kind of they're theorizing that it could be something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, stuff like this, it reminds me of a song that I used to sing a lot.
What's that song?
You mind turning me up a little bit here?
Yeah. Okay.
It's just another night of these thoughts.
What?
Can't get this
Fuji's?
out of my head.
This is Mario.
Mario?
This out of my head.
It sounds like Fuji's.
He stole the beat.
If you're playing me, keep it on the low.
I remember this song. It was a good jam.
'Cause my heart can't take it anymore.
Damn. Good
Please
jam.
don't let it show.
Here it is.
Oh, baby, I don't wanna know.
I don't want to know. That shit scares me.
Don't let it scare you, man. You're going to be okay. It's going to be okay. What do you got?
Technology's great, but then it gets
Technology's
weaponized.
amazing. Yeah, but
everything gets weaponized. You know?
Yeah.
And they're going to weaponize that. Particles decaying. Sounds like a gun.
Sounds like a gun. Particles decaying. Sounds like communist propaganda to me.
Sounds like someone's going to decay some particles somewhere.
Maybe, man.
On somebody.
Please.
Seriously.
Right. Whatever. So what do you got?
Man, it was America's birthday, I guess. 4th of July.
That's right. Dan and I awoke early Thursday morning saluting our flag.
Yes.
With our hand on our heart. That's the best way to do it.
And our U.S. women's national team just won the Women's World Cup for the 4th time in the history of the world. That's the most of any country in Women's World Cup sports.
So this is an interesting thing. My wife and I were having a conversation about this. She was very excited to watch this. She woke up. I was playing NBA 2K.
Right, of course.
She said, "Can we watch the Women's Cup?" And I'm like, "Babe, it's the third quarter. I'm up by 20. I'm not going to stop this game, right?"
I got to keep
And she
going.
said, "Well, how long is that going to take?" And I'm like, "Maybe 15 minutes." And she was like, "Okay, fine." So finished my game. I won by 30.
Right.
And she...
You play on easy.
No. I play on the third level up.
Oh, okay.
But it's always just me. It's that I don't play.
Yeah, you play so weird. You play 2K.
No, I love the
so
career.
weird.
I love the career. NBA 2K career
Guys,
play is dope.
Cody plays
It's dope.
NBA
It's dope.
2K wrong.
Dan-
He plays as himself and just his player.
Dan's just hating.
That's why he gets smoked by me.
I don't get
'Cause you don't control the team.
Whatever, man. I played the other night on the 3rd level on hard against the computer.
Yeah.
Just like I was playing team on team.
Yeah.
1x10.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, son. Get ready for the beat down tonight.
Okay. So you watched
So
the World
my
Cup.
wife watched it, and we got into this big conversation about like why is it that the U.S. women's team has won so many?
Oh, I'll tell you why.
All right.
You want to know?
Yeah,
For real?
for real.
Okay.
Okay. Are we
Our-
going to get to it?
Yeah.
You're going to tell me now?
I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
Our best female athletes play soccer. That's what's up. They have
Damn.
American
Dude.
athletes are far superior to other countries.
No, man.
100%.
Buddy, I think you're missing it.
What?
I think you're missing the boat on this one.
What do you think it is?
The oppression of women. The United States oppresses women the least of all other countries. If you noticed, the top 4 teams were the United States, the UK, the Netherlands, and was it France?
There's England and Sweden. No.
Sweden. Okay. European countries, and it's all about how women are treated. Iran doesn't even have a female team. Or they do, but the husbands have to allow them to leave to play it.
Doesn't make sense.
They have to
man.
get permission. What do you mean it doesn't make sense?
Iran's men's team sucks.
It's not the point. What I'm saying is other parts in the world, they oppress their women. They don't give them the opportunity to play these sports. And that's why we're where we're at with it. And that's why we, the United States, has the best.
No. But look at the Olympics.
You disagree with that?
Look at women's Olympics. I think
Look at women's Olympics, dude. We smoke most women.
absolutely because we have great athletes.
No, man. It's because
It's not because we have great athletes.
It's because we have great athletes, but that's not the reason.
Okay.
The reason's because we've given all women the opportunity to play the sports. And we're able to get all of the best athletes. We let these people do this. Whereas when you oppress people, when you oppress women, whether that's religiously, socially, whatever means, you limit their options and you limit their ability to be able to do the things they want to do.
Okay. Here, check this out. All the winners of the Women's World Cup. Here's the winners.
I'm listening.
United States,
Yep.
Norway,
Yep.
United States,
Yep.
Germany,
Yep. Yep.
Japan,
Yeah.
United States,
Yeah.
United States.
Uh-huh.
And the runners up,
Uh-huh.
Norway, Germany, China, Sweden, Brazil, United States, Japan, Netherlands.
Okay. You're like proving my point. With the exception of China being in there. That's a surprise to me.
Yeah. China's up in there.
China's kind of up in there.
Brazil, they live and sleep and breathe football.
Men do.
No, women's play.
No, man, it's not the same.
They play.
Good for them. But you look at all of those teams, they're all white. Like, they're all white, prominent, like, nations. Why is that? Why are these women winning? And it's because we've reduced the type of feminine oppression. Now, I can't speak as a woman, but I believe
I'm not going to sit here and say that because we don't oppress women as much as other countries doesn't play a factor in why they're good.
principal factor.
It's not principal
factor. Playing fields aren't even, man.
Look,
they're not.
You also need to.
There's a reason why the United States men's soccer team is shit compared to the rest of the world.
Well, that's an entirely different
situation. but it plays on this idea.
No, the men's team isn't good because
nobody plays soccer in the United States.
No,
your argument where the best athletes.
You're not even letting me say why.
Because it's wrong. It's wrong.
You don't even know why I don't think the men's team is good as everybody else.
Because all the best you've told me this. Yeah. You said all the best athletes play other sports.
Right.
I know this.
They're like third level, second rate players.
Absolutely.
Like the cream of the crop. Like if we fielded a team of LeBrons from childbirth playing soccer, we'd be the best. 100%. You get Dame Lillard.
If it was the number one sport in the country, absolutely.
Yeah, we'd be the best.
We got too many other options.
There's way too many other skilled athletes in baseball, in soccer, in football, and basketball that don't grow up playing soccer like these other places. And if you want to get into it, the system of like the upbringing of child athletes into the pros of soccer is all fucked up. It's all screwed up. And the college system is all shit. All these other countries have like farm training programs that lead into their club teams, and then those club teams get farmed out for men to the international. Yeah. But they're like, you're 12 and you're like playing, you're in Real Madrid's fucking
absolutely.
System.
It's the number one sport in those countries.
Yeah. But all right, women's soccer is so good, yes, because they are not as oppressed as other countries. But I don't think it's the deciding factor. I think they're just the better athletes.
I would disagree. And I say this because, as you can admit, the number one sport in all of those countries is soccer. And you're telling me that the number one sport in all of those countries, those women aren't winning?
Well, I think immigration plays a part in it too.
Immigration?
Absolutely.
What does immigration have to do with this, man? We're talking about teams that play for their countries.
Like, we're a country of immigrants.
Dude.
So
that USA team is a pretty white team, man.
But that doesn't mean anything.
What foreigners do we have on the USA team?
I'm sure a lot. All countries have like foreign players.
How many are not from the United States?
Let me look.
Born, raised in the U.S. Hell, even if they weren't born in the U.S., they're U.S. citizens. Yeah, man, you look it up.
All right.
Because I'm curious, how many are actually immigrants? Because I doubt it's. I would imagine some of the requirements are that you are
or their parents are or something like.
Well, their parents, it doesn't matter. Yeah. They still grow up in the United States.
Let's see.
First generation immigrants or first generation Americans, I guess.
So the reason why I say this, why I think this, is because like a lot of teams, like Spain, France, like they game the system a little bit, and I'm not entirely sure on the. I'd have to look it up. I was a little more certain several years ago, but like you can claim that you are a citizen of a. You can switch, basically.
Right.
You can switch nationalities and get on a national team elsewhere. A lot of people do that in Brazil. Like, they're like, look, the odds of you playing for the Brazilian national team are very slim.
Uh-huh.
So what you need to do is you need to move and get on another team.
So what's the verdict? You find this list?
Let me look it up.
I'd just like to see a list, and it like shows their heights and where they were from. And I mean, personally, that's like looking at this team, it's a pretty white team. There's a couple, I guess it's not, I mean, it's a mixed American team, but honestly, I'm not saying that in a bad way. I think it's a good thing. I think it's like, I think it's great that those doors are open for people, Dan. I just don't think it's about being the best athletes. Like all of these women, as I look through this group of girls, they seem to all be Americans here. Their hometowns are all in the United States.
Well, yeah, they have to be Americans to be on the team.
So then how can they be immigrants if they're not Americans? How can they be immigrants on a team?
The citizenship. Like you have a parent from France. Who
Yeah, but if you're raised in the
or-
States, it doesn't matter. You're an American. You're born in America.
Right.
What does that have to do if your parents are from another country? And
Well,
you were
that-
raised in America. You were born in America. You're an American citizen. That's how it goes.
That would
right?
explain the skill of the kid playing. Like if they grew up in France.
They didn't grow up in France. A lot of these people they're all U.S. What are you talking about?
I mean, if they grew up in France,
They're
and
born
moved
in the
here-
States and they moved to France.
Yeah, if
They could play on the U.S. team. Yeah.
or they were born in France and one of the parents was from the U.S., they could come play in the U.S. It's very like foggy like that. Like
if they're not U.S. born, if they're not
Yeah.
U.S. citizens.
like we have players on the men's team who grew up in fucking Germany and played in Germany, and then they come over because they have a tie to the United States, and it's like, well, I'm not going to make it on the German national team.
Right.
Let me come play.
All
So
right.
I mean, it's something to think. I can't find anything on it, but
I mean, every girl that I've looked at on this has a hometown of somewhere in the United States, and that's on the what do you call it? U.S. soccer team. Like they're all hometowns, and then they say the city and the state. A lot of them are from California.
well, I brought up the U.S. Women's National Team because what's her face, Alex Morgan,
Yeah.
when they beat England,
Yeah.
she scored that goal, and then she did a celebration. Did you hear about the celebration?
No.
So she scores a goal, and then stops, and then stands up straight, mimes a cup of tea, goes pinky out, and then takes a big old slow sip. And everybody on the internet like freaked out about it. They were pissed.
I don't understand. What's the offense?
They said it was disrespectful
To England?
to the English team and disrespectful to their country, and it was overly exaggerated, and it was bullshit, and like how dare she, and this is just
What's the American equivalent? Say an English person did it. What's the
That's
American
what I was
equivalent to you?
I asked Jenny the same question, and we thought of a couple that were like
Okay.
That
What would it be?
like miming like yeehaw.
Yeah, I think that like you could mime like you're throwing a rope and you like grab somebody and you
Right.
tie them. You're like hog tying them basically, or like
Right.
roping them. Yeah,
And then another one we thought of was like just like being fat.
being
And
fat.
just be like, I'm fat, I'm an American. Or like
That's interesting.
or like miming that you like sunk a beer pong cup.
Okay,
Or like chugging a beer.
all right.
Something like that. But I mean, I'm here to say that Alex Morgan like never apologized for this outcry of how dare she. She actually doubled down on it, which I think was pretty fucking cool. Like English don't own tea drinking.
Sure.
It wasn't like a fuck you to England per se. I don't think.
No, it's kind of a fuck you to England. I don't think it's like culturally offensive. I mean, it's like
sip a cup of tea.
sip of tea. Like I don't like. They're also upset because they lost, and that's just the way it goes.
But like, what's her face? Sophie Turner.
Yeah,
She's great on the internet right now.
so good right now. Sophie Turner's so
Super
hot
right now. She can't be brought down, but she's getting hammered on the internet and on Instagram, and basically her posts are great. She's gonna be great until she gets a DUI and people say she has an alcohol problem.
Who's Sophie Turner?
Sansa Stark.
Oh, right.
And Jean Grey.
She's falling apart, that Sophie Turner.
Right. Well, until she like gets divorced or has like a DUI, then
Right.
everyone right now it's cute and cool that she gets blackout drunk. But she basically said, "Look,
She's also married to a Jonas brother.
right, yeah." She was on her honeymoon. She was like, "Look, I don't check Instagram often, but I've seen everyone get mad at Alex Morgan's celebration." And she was like, "I don't give a fuck." She was like, "It's all good," and that's the tea. Like apparently on on her Instagram, she like goes on rants, and then she says, "And that's the tea," and that's what Alex Morgan was trying to do after she scored the goal, was be like, "And that's the tea, motherfucker." So I think this shit's stupid. Like, the men's celebrations are far more offensive than this.
Yeah, like men's soccer celebrations are just a load of hip thrusts.
Ball grabbing.
They're like doing like jerk off moves. They're grabbing each other's dicks. It's just like a whole dick job party.
Have you seen, like, remember when Klay Thompson used to like drain a couple threes and then he would act like he was holding like huge balls down the court?
I don't remember
There
that.
were testicles.
Really?
He'd be like,
look at my balls.
Like, walk back.
Look at my balls.
I saw a men's celebration after they scored a goal where like the whole team got on all fours, crawled over to the flag, and like picked up one leg like a dog and pissed on it, like mimed peeing on it.
Wow.
I mean, come on. The girl can't sip a cup of tea against England. Y'all own tea. Like, you don't own drinking tea with a pinky.
It's okay.
It's all good.
It's going to be all right.
I think so.
Until the next time women win another World Cup.
Congrats, ladies.
Good job, girls. Ladies. Women. I want to tell you about a company called JC Room Blocks. Do you have 10 or more out-of-town guests coming to an event near you? Maybe you have a bris, a wedding, a family reunion, a science convention. Maybe some friends are coming in town and they just want to get drunk in one place. Or your mom's coming into town and she's got 10 brothers and sisters and they need a room so they can all come over to your house and have a bagel. Well, I have the answer for you. JC Room Blocks. They research hotels in the area that you need the rooms. So if you're in San Diego, they're going to find those rooms. They're going to put them together for you. Oh, what? You need to be in Boston for a little bit? No big deal. Go over to Boston and hang out with your Boston friends. You got 10 or 15 of them and you need a room? Fucking Boston. That's what you're going to do. Since they're certified travel agents, they can get you the lowest possible rates. On top of discounted rates, they can also negotiate highly discounted bridal suites, shuttle service, and food and beverage functions. If you mention the Dan and Kody podcast, that's us, they'll waive their fee. That means you don't pay anything, okay? Check them out, jcroomblocks.com. I'm going to repeat that, jcroomblocks.com. They're on Facebook, they're on Twitter and Instagram. Follow them, check them out, get all them rooms!
Let's get right into it. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get into it.
This week's
True Crime!
This one's all the rage.
It's more than a rage. It's a rager.
Headline: Violent Disneyland Toontown fight captured on video.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing funny about this one.
There's nothing funny because it's sad. And the fact that they're fighting in the middle of Toontown is ridiculous.
It's disgusting, this video. If you haven't seen it, go to KFIAM640.com or just Google Disneyland fight right now. I'm sure you'll get it. But so someone told me about this video at work, and then I watched it after work.
Okay. Wink, wink, double wink. Yeah.
And then I got to Kody's tonight, and I said, Kody, you got to watch this video before we record. It is... when the first time I saw it, I wanted to like cry and kind of puke. It's disgusting.
Okay.
What do you think of it?
I mean, disgusting. I don't know. It's confusing. You don't really know why they're fighting each other. Somebody said something to the other, and it seems like they're all kind of together.
Yeah.
And then they all just start hitting each other.
Well, like a man, there's a big guy in a pink shirt.
Right.
And I think he is the original aggressor of this entire thing.
Yeah.
He ends up getting like spat in the face at the beginning.
Is that what he was? He was spit in the face?
A larger woman spits in his face.
They have a grandmother or somebody in their late 50s in one of those roller cars that are electronically ran.
Right. It is. There's so many layers to this thing, but basically, this guy, he's the biggest of all of them. We're gonna call him the red shirt guy. He ends up squaring off with this other guy, and the other guy ends up punching a woman. And then from then on, it's like
Free for all.
All women it's fair game to just go after women in this fight. But like what really strikes me as just complete negligence is Disney. This thing went on for what, 3.5 minutes?
Yeah, but Disney's not in a state to where, like, 3.5 minutes I don't think is terrible.
That's a long fight. Have you seen a fight in high school? You seen a fight in like
but those kids give up before it's over.
Even a fight at like a soccer game or a football game, those break up quick.
That wasn't a regular fight. Step away. That wasn't two guys, two direct people fighting. What it was a series of 5 or 6 people all talking kind of shit to each other, and you don't know who's going to get punched, and it's not all at one time.
Right.
1 minute you feel like they're cooled off and they're okay. Nope. Punch. Pull back. They're still talking to each other. The Disney employees are probably told to back away. Don't get in it, because if you do and you hit somebody, they're liable. So you need a specific team to come in and break that up.
But this did not look like a team who came in there. This looked like a hodgepodge ragtag group. Like the first guy on the scene had like a broom in his hand.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He's like, hey, what y'all doing?
But that's what I'm saying is the security team that's supposed to do that.
Yeah.
They're on the farthest edge of Disneyland.
There's not tunnels in there. They can just like quadrant 4B, get over there.
Yeah, but you still have to like move from wherever security might be, which is likely towards the front of Disneyland, to that location. Or even if there is security, that lot is huge. You still have people you have to move through to get there. And even if you're running at full speed, like near the end when those people showed up, I don't fault Disney for this, man. It was an intermittent like battle between these 5 or 6 people. You didn't know who was fighting who. The people at the park got involved to help to help diffuse the situation.
The Good Samaritans who were watching allowed I think 3 women to get hit in the face repeatedly before.
Well, to be fair,
Good Samaritans
a couple of those
in.
women you didn't expect to get hit by the person that hit them.
Right. He just ended up like just
all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, we're friends." Boom. All of a sudden you're my worst enemy. Punch, punch, punch.
Right.
Man.
But on the third woman, probably 4 or 5 guys who were just at the park jump in to subdue this. Because the guy was big.
That was one of those scenarios, Dan, where you're talking about football fight. That's what happens when it's a real fight and there's somebody's targeting somebody.
Mm-hmm.
When somebody's targeting somebody, you know who to break up.
Yeah.
When you don't, wow.
Kody just...
Oh, wow.
There was a massive moth in here, and Kody just backhanded it first try.
I first try, and I hit it up against the wall.
He is done.
Let's hope he's dead. I got to pick him up before McFly gets in here because he'll eat him.
Dead to rights.
Anyway, but that's it. That's it, man. I think it's, I don't fault Disney for that. You can't control how people are going to respond.
Here's why I fault Disney. And hear me out. Okay? You are on vacation. You're from, I don't know, Ohio, Nebraska, somewhere far away where you are vacationing in California for the first time. You brought your family to Disneyland. You have a week stay at the park.
Okay.
You're in the park, and you come up on this outside of Toontown, and your 3-year-old now has this image of a man punching the shit out of people, women, and they're screaming. Like, this is like troubling. This is graphic. It's disgusting. And if you're a family that doesn't go to Disneyland all the time, like, that's your trip. That was your big family vacation. It is now scarred with this event. And I feel that a place like Disneyland, with the amount of money that folks pay to go in there, that we shouldn't have to see that. They shouldn't have to be around that. Like, they should have security in that motherfucker where if someone gets slapped, they're like, Like they should have like Secret Service level type shit. You pay $130 to go in there.
You have unrealistic expectations.
This guy should have just.
You have unrealistic expectations.
I want this guy like swept away, Men in Black style.
It doesn't work that way.
Fucking
it doesn't work that way.
Leave the park.
It doesn't work that way.
And seriously, I was talking to Jenny about this shit. We would ask for our fucking money back. I'd be like, my daughter just watched a fucking dog fight, a brutal beatdown of women. Children are screaming, and be like, how was your vacation to California? The one you've been saving up for 5 years to go to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree that it would affect your experience, but you can't have an expectation that you can control everybody in these scenarios. And I don't ever want to be in a scenario where I feel like I'm being controlled or watched or managed.
Dude, this man could have gone off on a way more people.
Yeah, he could.
They were just letting him like roam.
3 minutes, man.
That's a long time.
It's a giant park, and I'm not giving Disney an excuse, but I will also say I don't feel that their response time is terrible. I don't feel like it's terrible because, first of all, is it a situation? And there were many moments in this fight where it felt like they've diffused their own situation. There are big gaps.
When he's walking around and going, I'm ready to go to jail tonight. I'm going to jail tonight.
But at that point, people had created and pulled them away. But then he decided to smack his friend and attack that person. Like, nah, man, I don't, maybe a minute better in time response would have been fine. But
and they kind of got there and didn't really do much, did they? They just sort of stood around.
These are scenarios where, as a company, you have to be careful.
Right.
Because that person, that crazy person, will sue you.
The person you subdue.
Yes. You can't just throw him on the ground. You have to wait for the police department. You can bring them aside and you can try and diffuse the scenario, but I'm pretty sure it's like when you go to a mall. It's no different. It's no different.
No, it's different.
How? Because you pay to get entrance? So then there should be security that can throw you around?
I'm sure with buying a ticket, you've signed away some some public. It's not public. That's not a public place. That's private.
So is a mall.
Yeah, but there has to be some sort of terms and conditions with like the purchase of the ticket into the.
So you're saying that there should be language when you purchase the ticket that says we can subdue you and touch you physically if you get rowdy here at the park? Something along those lines that maybe is better. You think that's okay?
No, well, look, I mean, if you went to like the movie theater, you're agreeing to things that aren't necessarily public.
But they
rules.
Can't put their hands on you. The problem you have here is like you can diffuse this situation, and if things have to get physical, they probably have means to do that. But the reality is if you're a company, the liability falls on you if that person gets hurt, even if they're being erratic. And that's why you have to wait for the police department to manage the situation. So no matter how fast security got there, they still have to figure out a way to get that guy to a location that is away from people, which when you're in Toontown, there are access points that they can get him out of there.
Something about, like, I'm sure private security there can touch you.
Okay. I know for sure that a private security at a mall cannot.
They just can't.
They cannot.
Really?
They cannot. They can't. They might be able to put their hands on your hands or something like that, but they can't throw you down to the ground. It's a no.
You can't like citizens arrest.
When I worked in a store, if somebody got out of control and loud, I was not allowed to touch them.
You're just like, what?
You have to like, exactly.
Really?
Yes. It's all about liability, man. It's the way it goes.
Y'all broke my finger when I was punching my sister in the face.
It's true. You sue them, make money.
And then they'll just pay to make that go away.
Yep. It's not worth the trouble.
Yeah.
It costs them more to pay their lawyers to deal with it than it is to give you $20,000.
Right.
It's just the way it goes, man.
And according to this article, I mean, this looks like a family dispute, to be honest. I think
it looks
all
like a
these
weird
people,
family dispute, right?
I think they all know each other, and none of them cooperated when the police arrived.
Right.
So, which I took to mean like snitches get stitches, and we're a family. So, like, I'm not saying he did this. This guy clearly is unstable. Like,
well, and
Disney
at this point, what Disney can do, I'm assuming
ban them,
that
right?
Disney security can't touch people. That's my assumption. They have to wait for Anaheim's police department to show up.
right.
What I do believe is that they can then
They can ask.
they
the
can elect them
family-
that they can kick them out so they can never come into the park again.
Right. Well,
Eliminate them from having access to get into the park.
Yeah, I think they're done from the park.
Yeah,
At least Toontown.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you guys get a chance, watch this battle. Send us your thoughts. Dan will post a link in one of our social medias, and you guys can watch it.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's pretty ridiculous. These guys are. It's a ridiculous group of people in the first place. They just it's insane how
Like, I think this
bizarre
guy
they are.
hits his mom. I think he's hitting his mom like that.
Yeah, I think he's
And I think he's hitting
aunt or
his
something.
sister and his girlfriend or whatever.
right.
But if he's doing that at Toontown, he's doing that at home.
Oh,
And
you think?
that's what's really sad.
Yeah.
Like the kids in this video are like sobbing. They're how mad can you be at Disneyland?
You got to be pretty mad, man.
Like I can't have that bad a time at Disneyland
It's true.
to be that upset.
It's
this
crazy.
dude is just like, I think, chemically imbalanced, man. He had some issues.
Well, watch out, guys. Just don't punch your family in
And-
public places or in private places, for that matter.
Would Kody Frederick jump in there?
Not with my family in the circle. I'd get away from the situation.
Yeah, I told Jenny, I was like, you
I'd
probably grab Mox and we would go.
You gain nothing by being involved in that. In that, and not even so much gaining. It's just like,
But when he was hitting the women, like, would you be like, I gotta stop this? I feel like that part compels me to jump in. But one, this dude was fucking huge, and two,
yeah, they had 5 guys hold him down, and one guy put his arm around him,
yeah,
and like help him like pass him out, and he did, and he passed out, and then he came to, and he said, "Which one of you guys put your arms around my neck?"
right.
And he was ready to fight whoever that was, and that's one of those.
yeah, it's like,
Tough guy, testosterone moments where that's who this guy is. He's
fighting anybody.
He's fighting anybody. It doesn't matter who it is. Woman, man, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'd maybe 20s Dan would have jumped in and be like, hey, fucking stop, man.
Yeah, but if you're
But
with your
you
family,
gotta
it's
get
more
out
of
of
like by being in that with your family there, you are putting them in harm's way at that point.
I agree.
So there's no point in, getting
Yeah.
in that battle. Anyway,
So go the other way.
I guess it's time for this week's Champion of the Week.
The champion of the week. Yeah.
Lay it on me, big fella.
All right, man. So we've got so our champion of the week is 73-year-old Eugene Joe.
Eugene Joe?
So he'd gone missing the 22nd of June. He was up in the California mountains hanging out. Well, Eugene got lost.
What?
Eugene got lost for 7 days up in the mountains.
How old was he?
By himself, 73 years old, lost up in the mountains. What do you do, Eugene? How are you going to survive, Eugene? What are you going to do? Well, let me tell you what he did. He managed to stay alive by getting close to hot rocks in an area to stay warm at night.
Hot rocks?
Hot rocks. So, like, probably he made fire and then he heated up the rocks. Very Survivor Man-esque move.
Wow.
He puts up rocks next to a fire, and then in turn, those rocks heat up during the evening, and then he stays warm because the rocks are warm. So that, and then he also kept himself hydrated by drinking water in the riverbed.
Whoa.
That's right. He'd wrap his jacket around him and a beach towel that he had with him. and he'd use it to kind of keep himself, contained and safe.
You always
So-
hear that's dangerous to drink out of riverbeds.
Yeah, but you're
you
day
never know-
5, you're getting thirsty, you got no choice. You probably get some kind of sickness, and he probably had the runs, but he'll make it out.
There could be like a dead animal at the top of the stream.
Right.
You have no idea, or somebody.
I mean, he wasn't in any good position either. He was not in a good place. They have images of his shoes destroyed. And he said that
7 days he destroyed his shoes.
Yeah, it's looking like these photos of
That's
his shoes are like.
That's a quick deterioration of footwear.
Well, apparently, how it had gone, he was in a hiking group, and he ended up, getting lost when he went out to go. Let's see, to go to the bathroom or something like that.
This is again why I stand firmly on the side of do not hike.
Oh, come on.
Like how is there hiking? This motherfucker's in a group and he got lost.
Right.
72. It's time to hang up the hiking boots, sir. It's time to retire from the hike. Maybe he could play that hiking video game that you said's coming out.
Yeah, it's he was down to his last amount of energy, and he basically said it took everything he had to roll over his hands and knees and yell for help when he knew that the rescuers were near him. Help! Help! Eugene Joe.
7 days.
Buddy.
How'd he not get eaten?
I don't know, man. He must have been wearing some of that bear repellent cologne, or just cologne, as I like to call it. So
remember when we were like, oh man, this was a long time ago, but we talked about if we could fend off a jaguar.
What did I say?
Well, we said my mom would get eaten. I remember that.
Oh, okay.
But I think we said you and I could maybe survive.
A jaguar for sure. I think we got in this argument.
Yeah.
A jaguar we could. A mountain lion, not a chance.
We're dying.
We're dead.
You think so?
Absolutely. You might be able to swing your hardest and like hit him, but yeah, I remember this argument because you were like, "No, man, mountain lions aren't that big.
I could take a jaguar.
I could take a jaguar and a mountain lion. Mountain lions aren't that big," and I was like, "No, man, mountain lions are huge."
Dude, I went. Not to get on a tangent. I don't want to take away from Eugene Joe. Congratulations, you're a champion.
You're a champion of the week, Eugene.
But I was running. I went for a run the other day, and the road we take to go to Cece's or Chi-Chi's?
Yeah.
There's like high grass on the right.
Yeah.
And that's my dirt road path. We shot there for my marathon video.
Yeah, I remember
when
that.
I ran
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
So I'm running down that, and the high grass is on my right. I got my headies on, loud as fuck, like I'm getting after it.
Right.
It's the beginning of the run. And I'm running down, and I see probably from where I am sitting to you, which is about 3 feet, 3.5 feet, this fucking like vulture or hawk or some kind of predator bird swoops out of this high grass, crosses like the street, the sidewalk where I am to you, and in his talons is a fucking like big ass rat the size of a cat. And he's got it, and he flings this, he's flying past me, and I stop and audibly yelled out, what do you think I yelled out?
Go get him, birdie.
No.
What did you say? Oh, wait, hold on. Let me give me another shot. Give me another shot. Fly away, friend of mine. What?
Nope.
What do we got?
I audibly, like, it was the first thing that came to mind. I gasped and I yelled, "Oh God!" like that, and stopped dead in my tracks.
That's uneventful.
This motherfucker was like, "Gah!" with a fucking animal in his talons. I've never seen that before. And I started following this account before this called Nature is Metal on Instagram.
Metal, METAL? Okay.
Yeah, like Nature's Metal.
Okay.
And it's really just graphic images and videos of animals either killing each other or eating each other or shit like that. It's real messed up.
Yeah, man. Sounds real messed up.
So after that happened, I was like, nature is metal. Like I just saw the fucking circle of life. It was frightening.
Huh. Well, I'm glad you're okay and you were able to dodge this falcon eagle bird thing.
It was a bird of prey.
Was the rat bigger than the bird?
The rat was probably like that.
No, I'm saying, was the rat bigger than the bird?
No.
It was not. Okay, so it was a pretty big bird.
It was yeah.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
I guess it might have been a vulture.
Right. Must have.
But I didn't think that they had I thought they sort of
it's odd
preyed
that
on
it's
roadkill.
Yeah, vultures they're scavengers, so they tend to eat leftovers.
Right. This thing seemed like it swooped in and was
Grabbed
and
it, caught it,
it.
and flew away. Man, that makes me appreciate eagles and falcons and hawks and all those things a whole lot more.
Dude, you don't think of them
No.
So now whenever I see birds just kind of circling, I used to always think, the
vultures are circling. That's kind of like the saying, right?
Yeah. But I always thought that they were that they circled things that were close to death and they would come in and come get it.
They probably do.
But they come in and pick your ass up.
And they'll get you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm scary, man. But
devil birds.
Congratulations, Eugene Joe.
Thank you, Eugene. Dude.
Huh.
7.1?
Oh, yeah.
6.3?
Where were you?
Where were you when you felt the two largest earthquakes that have hit the Los Angeles County, or Los Angeles, I guess, in quite a while?
We had two biggies, guys.
We did. So there's an area that is about 120 miles from where I'm at here in Van Nuys that's northeast of me. And it's roughly northeast of Dan. It's probably about 100 miles from Dan. And so,
very close to our friend Chris Brayton.
That's still about 100 miles.
From Morgo to there?
Yeah.
I thought it was real close to Bakersfield.
It's not much closer than where you are. It's just that if you look at the radius, it's about the same.
Huh.
So, okay. But they're further north. Or maybe more directly west of where the earthquake was.
I see.
So they had these two earthquakes. They actually had, just to give you an idea, over the 2 days when the first earthquake hit.
Was it 3rd of July and 4th of July?
4th of July. 4th and 5th.
And 4th and 5th. Okay.
4th and 5th of July. So how it worked is between those 48 hours, total number of earthquakes in that area was over 2,000 earthquakes.
What?
From a 1.0 up to the 7.1, which hit on Friday night, there was a total of over 2,000 earthquakes.
Damn.
So what happened is the two major ones, the first one, as the geological people had stated, it was one of the pre-quakes. It was meant to be kind of a... what do they call them? They call them aftershocks after the earthquake, and then they have a foreshock or something like that before it. And there was a 11% or a 9% chance that that there would be one bigger than the first one. And boom, there you have it. It was bigger, and we experienced it, but it was probably more around a 4.5 is what we were experiencing. Versus what the epicenter of where the earthquake took place.
Right.
They experienced a 6.2 or something, 6.3, and a 7.1. And to give you an idea, that's the difference is about 125 times stronger than the lower one.
Damn.
So
try to describe an earthquake to somebody who has never felt one.
Well, the earthquakes that we were experienced, there's these two types of earthquakes. There's a Z wave, and then there's an S wave. And what we were experiencing were S waves. S waves are like being on a lake where you get ripples in the water. Mm-hmm. And the best way to describe it is as Madeline and I were actually for the first one, we were in our house, and it starts happening. We're watching television, and I'm like, it's starting to quake right now. We need to get under a door frame. So Madeline and I we get up and we walk over to a door frame. And as we're looking, we can look in the bedroom and you can see it, and you can see the wave almost in a way in the room by the way things are moving.
You saw it moving.
You could see the way that things were shaking. Yeah. That they were shaking as if it was like an S wave, which is actually a much more natural kind of. Those are the good ones.
Yeah,
those are the good earthquakes.
Yeah, This was the first one on the 4th was the most I've ever felt an earthquake before.
Right.
And I was in the kitchen, and I was by like our kitchen table, and Jenny was in the kitchen area.
Yeah.
With Mox, and it felt I would compare the feeling of this earthquake to like being on a bumpy cruise ship.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to describe it.
Very just like
It's
rocky.
It's disorienting and it's rocky.
Yeah, you get a little lightheaded.
You do. And you actually are unsure if it's stopped.
Yeah.
Just because what's happening is the equilibrium in your brain is being affected.
Yeah.
So just like anything else, it's just like spinning in circles. You're literally the stuff that levels you out in your brain is still moving, even though after it's stopped, because that's how much it affects your surroundings.
The fucking earth moved.
And those are like that. It's crazy to think that that's the case. And then the following one, Madeline and I, we were in a movie theater.
Right.
And Madeline and I, we were seeing Spider-Man, and we were sitting there, and all of a sudden it kicks, and I'm like, Madeline, we're getting an earthquake. So Madeline and I jump up. I run out the door. I leave her behind. She catches up because she's pregnant. I'm like, come on, lady. And we hide, and we basically stand underneath the door frame of the movie theater that gets us out of the room. But we're like holding the door open as people are walking out because we were the first ones to move.
Oh, I see.
And so, those kinds of...
Is that the best place, the door frame?
Door frame.
You wouldn't do bathtub or under a table?
You could do under a table if you have access to under a table. You should always find somewhere that's stable and that can handle it. Like a table with four legs is going to be a whole hell of a lot better than a round table with one center post.
Right.
But it's better than nothing. So always like get under a table, get under somewhere secure. And then the other type of earthquake that we don't want is called a Z-wave earthquake. And that shit just shakes.
That's
really.
The shake and
that's
bake
the
one.
shake one. That's the one that's going to that causes pure destruction.
Yeah.
Because this type of earthquake that we experienced, a lot of the buildings are retrofitted and meant to handle it. But the other earthquake type, bad news, baby.
That'll bring you down.
Stay away from brick walls. Stay away from buildings that are constructed in an old way, because bricks will kill you. Mm-hmm. The nice thing about these cement buildings is there's rebar in it. They're meant to flex. They're meant to move.
Yeah.
But Madeline and I, if we would have been in that place and there was a 7.1 or an 8 at that location, I don't see how we would have lived.
In the movie theater?
Yeah.
Really?
I think we would have been dead.
Damn.
Because when you go to the Sherman Oaks arc
fucking-
light, there's no exit. Like, it's all cement. It's like, welcome.
Which ArcLight?
Sherman Oaks.
Oh, that's where you were
There's
at?
nowhere to get out. You can't get out to open space fast enough.
Yeah.
It's just like...
You ought to have been Jamie and Cersei Lannister.
Yeah, we would have. Anyway.
Oh, man.
Where were you, the second one?
Second one, I was on a run.
Yeah, you felt that one?
Didn't feel it at all. I was just rolling.
Yep, you were. You were running with the rolls, baby.
Yeah, and then Jenny kept trying to call me. She couldn't get a hold of me. I guess everybody was calling everybody.
Right.
Like 4th of July, like New Year's. You know,
Right.
you can never get Happy New Year.
Phone services are all tied up because of it.
Yeah, so she was like, "Are you okay? What's going on?" Me and Moxie got under the table. And yeah, she said it was worse.
And you're just like, it was. And now you were just like, yeah, I'm running.
Yeah. Like, I'll call you back. Bye. But I mean,
You guys okay? Good. I'll talk to you in about 30 minutes.
did you get a lot of texts? A lot of like, "Are you okay?"
I've got, it took the second earthquake for my family to reach out.
Yeah. The second?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Which is fine because they know I'm fine with that stuff. I it doesn't, whatever. Doesn't bother me.
I was happy. I got the call from Kody. "Hey man, how you doing? You all right?" Yeah. That's
Well,
good.
because you're closer, I was just curious to see if you were going to be affected by it more than us.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you called me while I was running.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you know what though? People in the East, they're always like, "I heard about those earthquakes, man." There's this thing about earthquakes that people fear. I fear wildfires way more.
No. How do you,
Here.
like, maybe you're more likely to be in a wildfire. I think it's probably more likely. But with a wildfire, you have warning to some degree. An earthquake, it's really nothing.
Right. So my mentality there is, why am I gonna sit here and worry about an earthquake? Can't do anything really, but like pray.
If it's gonna take me, it's gonna take me.
Yeah, but pray and get in a doorway.
Right.
But with a fire, it's like that's what I fear, because that you can get away. There is a margin of error as a human of like,
right.
Should I have grabbed the PlayStation,
right.
or should I have grabbed
It's true.
the goods, or like where do we go? How do we get in the car and drive away? Or
Right.
Like, is it gonna switch? Should I leave? Should I not? Like, there's way more like opportunity, I guess I'm saying, to fuck up your exit.
Yeah.
That I'm scared of. And then the burning alive.
Yeah,
Yikes.
that's terrible.
That's awful.
Yeah.
But you get a building falls on your head. That's a wrap. You're not really going to feel that,
That's a
right?
quick one. I have no idea. I hope I don't feel that one.
I doubt you would. You just smash. Unless it's one of those things where it's like a freak of nature thing where you get like pinned and your whole body's crushed, but you're alive. But if you move, you die. That kind of thing.
Absolutely. So you telling me if you take me out from this building, I'm going to die? Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. What?
It's like old school. You got a fucking dart in your neck. And he just doesn't even know it. It's like, oh. Or like, you've watched 911?
Yeah.
Where the dude had the pole through his face?
No.
In the car?
Oh, is that what it was?
Basically, like, he got in a car crash and like a pole like went through his head, but he was alive. And they were like, we got to remove this pole out of your head. But they had no idea how to. So they basically cut the car in half, cut the pole, and like removed him from the car. Took him to the.
Did he survive?
Yeah.
They always survive.
911, bro.
Rescue 911. It's called Rescue 911.
It's 911.
Yeah, Rescue 911. William Shatner.
No, the show.
Oh.
On Fox.
I thought it was Rescue 911.
Angela Bassett.
Get out of here.
That show's amazing.
Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't.
But hurricanes, tornadoes, that's the scary shit. Y'all are crazy. I'll take the quake.
I think the quake's interesting. It's an interesting experience.
Yeah.
But if you've never experienced it, it can seem a little frightening.
If
you know what to do, come on, If you know what to do, prepare yourself, get somewhere safe, and watch out for, the scary things.
That's right.
Well, Dan?
Well, K-Fred?
I mean, that was a hell of a week.
Hell of a week.
Dan's headed out to Comic-Con next week.
Next week, SDCC.
We'll
Hit me up.
We'll have a podcast before Dan's there, and then he's going to be out there getting all kinds of lovely footage. Maybe he's going to get himself a Funko or two.
Guys.
We'll see what happens.
Maybe Cody's getting a baby or two.
Oh, yeah. I'm supposed to have a baby on the 18th. So, give me your best wishes and your thoughts and feelings on that.
Yeah,
But other
man.
than that, guys, ladies, fellas, people, have a wonderful week.
And if you're going to go to Disneyland with your family, try not to punch them.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening and laughing with the Dan and Kody podcast. Our email is danandcodypodcast@gmail.com. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We are on Instagram Dan Kody Podcast. Check out our website, danandcody.com, and you can contribute to the podcast by going to patreon.com/Dan Kody Podcast.
Subscribe, bitch!
Everybody played itself down to shit, bro.